Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 24th SF Doc Fest. I'm Sarah Mae Flores. I curate the shorts here at the festival, which will be running May 29th through June 8th, both virtually in your computer screens as well as in person at the Roxy and Vogue Theaters in San Francisco. A huge welcome to our community filmmakers. We're so glad to have you here. I would love to just kick it off by asking you to introduce yourselves, tell us what film you're here with, what your role was, and what the genesis of the project was for you. And we'll start off with Carlos.
Hello, thank you very much for this, and I'm very excited of being part of the festival. My name is Carlos David. I'm the director of Being in New York, and it's a series of interviews with artists in New York City. And I first worked with one of the interviewees, Sammy, and he's trans, and he's evolving through life, and I was very interested in his story. We work in a commercial project, and I wanted to find ways to learn more about his life and how he navigates art, and he's an actor. So that's how we started, and then we met more people, and we started to bring him over to do more interviews. I mainly do interviews and B-roll about New York City, kind of to build bridges between different communities and to have what we all have in common in here, right? Which is art and living in New York.
Awesome. Thank you so much and welcome. Ben, please introduce yourself.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Ben Ivers. I'm one half of the director duo for Limbo. I directed alongside Christian May, who isn't able to be here right now. But Limbo was brought to us by a friend of mine. He spent some time out in Bombay Beach, and he was just expressing how unique the place was and how healing it was, and kind of led us to more questions and wanting to explore for ourselves, and that kind of led to the Limbo and highlighting that unique little town.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love Bombay Beach. Hi, Eddie. Welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Eddie Esguerra. I'm guess I'm the s- I'm the star of Time Crisis, an Eddie Esguerra story. Uh, I first started, at least I was approached by my directors, Zach and Brooke, just off of like Instagram, really. They actually saw me before playing in a bar called Button Mash, playing Time Crisis, and yeah, it's pretty much about me going to like barcades like twice a week, playing Time Crisis, putting on a show, and trying to make a community out of it, making friends out of it. So yeah, thank you for having me. It's really fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Carlos, I'd love to just kind of jump back over to you and talk about like what inspired you to undertake this story and how did you meet your subject?
Yeah, I've been many times kind of moving out of New York. There's a love and hate relationship with the city, and I was in a moment of possibly moving out, and it started as a love letter to the city, and I wanted to showcase kind of what life has been for me being here. I'm originally from Mexico, but I've been here for more than 20 years. And it was kind of through the eyes of other artists going through similar situations where you come to New York City to pursue your dreams and your trying to achieve what your art endeavors, and how there's the hustle and the fight and the forming your community and building it up. And at the same time, I wanted to build bridges with communities that I'm not completely part of, right? In this case, the LGBT community. I wanted to find ways where we are together and where we understand each other rather than the differences that we have. And so in for these two cases, it was okay, New York City. I'm an artist, so it was the art as a bridge as well, and then telling our stories, right? And it was a very personal project, and it was very interesting because as it started as an idea, and then to see how we all have very similar journeys, in the sense of, there's sadness, happiness, joy, and then again, the struggle, and then we find ourselves. And also seeing with each one of the people that we interviewed, these four characters, how art has such a strong meaning into their own understandings of identity. For me, that has been a long process of understanding who I am. And to see that, it's not just a personal journey, right? Like almost everyone that is going through an artistic career will have some journey of understanding through art better who they are.
That's lovely. Thank you so much. Ben, I would love to hear more just about how you accessed the community in Bombay Beach, right? Like, for those of us, especially those of us in Southern California that have visited the space, it sometimes feels a little bit like a ghost space. When you go there, you're like, where is this? You just hear you're on the border of this lawless kind of county, and to be careful, but like you really illustrate kind of the broad spectrum of folks that inhabit this very unique place. So what was that like with you working within that community?
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point too. Of it's very desolate, and like a lot of people, when you go into a desolate town, a lot of people tend to expect the worst, and so I think our goal too is like to point out, don't judge a book by its cover, and they're real, genuine people that we can all relate to, and just because they're in um uh I maybe like a failing town, that doesn't mean that they're not, trying to make it better, just because they're in that current circumstance. Um, but yeah, as I said earlier, my friend Rod, his dad actually works with our lead, Dave Day. And Dave is very active in the community. He's trying to use art as an economic driver. So he has uh, a place called BBAC, which is Bombay Beach Arts and Culture. And the idea is to use this coffee shop as a means to bring in community where artists can connect and build, and um, thus bring in tourism and strengthening their town. And through Dave, he really had the most connections, and he was kind of our main point to introduce us to other members of the town. That's when we met Padron, who she was just volunteering at the coffee shop that day. Or not volunteering, but she was helping out um, that day. She's very active in a town. Iron Dad, we met. He was building an installation for the kids. That was the lemonade stand. Um, and and there was a few other people we were able to meet. But really, Dave was our insight into the town, and we were able to really immerse ourselves in their little space for just a couple days, and it was really really unique, really
That's
fun.
so, that's so fun. Thank you so much. Eddie, tell us a little bit more about what it's been like to have your story told, and how did it make you kind of view your sense within your own community?
Yeah. It's funny because this isn't my first time trying like somebody approaching me, because it's usually just people who watch me play Time Crisis or whatever gun shooting game in arcade, barcade. they would approach me and they want to do a project. And this one I just released was like I think my third one. The other two never came out. And the last one before that, we just finished filming, but the pandemic happened, so all that got uh it's just gone. So, but yeah, it's been a wild ride. Meeting so many people who watch me play, or they see me before on like Instagram or TikTok, because people will record me, post it online, and once in a while, one of those videos become viral. And even just last night, I just came from a barcade, and I had people approach me like, "Can I play with you? I've seen you on TikTok and Instagram." So it's been really fun. It's been really great.
Oh, that's so lovely. Cool. Thank you. Carlos, I would love to jump back over to you and just kind of talk about this broader time that we're in, right? Like both immigrants and queer people, specifically trans people, are under attack in this country. And like, how does the past, I cannot believe it's only been 5 months of this. And not that these problems weren't persistent prior to the inauguration, but like, how has the current state of this country made you think about the stories that you've told in your documentary?
Yeah, it's been a tough time. Just the other day, I was outside with some friends, and we were having a drink in the street, which you're not allowed, but it's just in front of our building. And all of us are from underrepresented communities. And we were just joking about it. Any moment a van can show, and it's like, no, you have the bottle. No, they're going to take you. No, you have the bottle. No, they're going to take you. Like all of us were part of a community that at this moment is under threat. And it is on one side a bit scary or nerve-wracking, but on the other side is a good moment to do more projects and to not let go, and to keep active, and to push even more to have our voices heard. I've been working a lot through many years on the idea of working with underrepresented communities as a very, very broad theme, right? In commercial projects, bringing Latinos or more voluptuous models and stuff like that. This is since many years, and so it is a little rougher right now, but it shall pass, and we should take this to as a push to even work harder and push stronger for this to not happen uh, again, right?
Yeah,
I think, and support each other. We build communities and try to be stronger together. I think
that's beautiful. Thank you. Um, Ben, I would love to talk just a little bit more about Bombay Beach in the sense that, right, this was once kind of the destination for those escaping LA, uh, and how like the ecology of this place like really kind of informs the communities that are around there, right? Like this went from a place that was like pretty vibrant and had like a very great like body of water to being this place that has just lost all those resources, kind of a little bit toxic, um but like seeing something so beautiful like this community bloom. Like what do you have thoughts on how kind of the community operates around the ecology of the space?
Yeah, it's a really interesting location. I know Dave had so many great one-liners, and one of them was like, "This town is almost like a little petri dish." Um, and like you said, like it changes so vastly. It was once this vacation, like paradise for people to go visit, and ever since, um, or as of late, it's that lake has been drying up, and yeah, it is now creating some like toxic fumes to be released. Um, I think there's maybe some lithium or something under that waterbed. Um, so it is very interesting to see how drastic a town can change, but also how resilient people can be and kind of hold on to what they love and continue to fight to keep uh their passion alive or their livelihood intact. Um but one thing we didn't talk about in the film specifically was like Iron Dad is actively trying to do runs across the Salton Sea and almost track how much that water is receding every year. Um, so it's interesting to see that location and how it's been changing and it's I don't know, it's going to be interesting moving forward what their future is like, but it's something that California is going to have to address eventually because it's not only the town, like currently it's the town being affected, but it will soon be the neighboring towns like Palm Springs, which is uh,
Mhm.
right around the corner.
And there's also, I just have to say this, the craziest thing to me is the palm tree nursery, like right outside of this space. So just like the way that we are like bending nature to fit these spaces instead of like embracing the changes is what I think is really interesting. Like I think Bombay Beach is unique in that they're like, well, this is what it is now, and we're going to still forge a community. Whereas, importing all that water to grow the palm trees, like, 100 miles away from there, to me is baffling. Um,
Yeah,
but
there's also
yeah,
some date farms out there as well, and yeah, they can't use the Salton Sea water.
yeah.
So
Uh, it's just such a strange place. Thank you so much, Ben. Eddie, I would love to talk more about just kind of, I think we definitely cover this within the film, but to go from thinking about video games as being something that's a little bit more solitary, and then like all of us living through this moment of COVID where like we cannot all be together. Like, how does it now feel that we're basically all the way back to normal for you and like in your gameplay and how you're interacting with folks and your excitement for that?
Yeah, it was yeah, I was just so excited to go back to the bar, like to meet people again, go to a barcade because yeah, I couldn't really do anything at home, at least playing Time Crisis wise, because yeah, I don't have a machine at home. My old PS2 controller that I used to play with, I kind of like tore it apart for like going for conventions as a prop. So yeah, I had to adjust again because it was like almost a year or two not playing. But I quickly got into it. Seeing like even like staff that were able to go back to their jobs to the bars I go to, saying like, oh, he's here again. Now we're back to normal. So it was really fun, really exciting to go back again. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, friends, that's all the time that we have today. A huge thank you to our audience for tuning in, and thank you so much for filmmakers for sharing these stories and being with us here to chat about them. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye-bye.